Pretoria by our colleague Glorious Sefako Musi. Glorious, a very good morning to you. Let's recap what happened yesterday.
Good morning, Desiree. Yes, what happened yesterday is we saw two people taking the stand. We saw the former risk and compliance executive, that is Paul Magula, taking the stand in the morning. He started by explaining how the organogram at the PIC is not in compliance with the memorandum of incorporation of the corporation. Understand that the organogram at the PIC was changed in 2015. That put power in basically into people. There were positions that were done away with. We saw that some departments had to now report to the CFO and the CEO. He actually criticized that, saying that this centers power in just two people. When they are not there, nothing can be done. All decisions have to go through them. And also criticized that because of that power, they saw that there were issues that happened that could have been avoided because there's no oversight. So let's take you first through who Magula is. Magula was working for the PIC and he was fired last year in April. He was accused of non-compliance and for not using his fiduciary duties on the VBS scandal. We know that as an investee in a company, PIC, it sends a person to sit on the board of the companies that they invest in. So Magula was sent to the VBS Mutual Bank. We know what happened to the VBS Mutual Bank. Since it collapsed, there were scandals. People stole money there. What happened now is he says he felt he was unfairly dismissed and unfairly treated by under Majila's watch. He says that he was accused of non-performance, but a few months before then, he was given a performance bonus and rated at 3.75 over 5, which meant he was a good performer, but he was still fired. Another thing that he said is he spoke about IO technology. IO technology, we know now that the deal went through without following proper procedures. He said that it appeared that Majila was quite desperate to see the deal through to a point where he came back from leave to make sure that a meeting happens and the deal is approved. This IO technology keeps coming up. We know that now the IO technology is under scrutiny with CIPC instructing PIC to recoup the money that they invested there without following procedure with interest. And another issue that came out, we saw Lebogang Molebatsi. He's also in listed equities at the PIC. He still works there. He said that he didn't know much about the deal when it happened. A junior of his was actually told to work on the deal. What happened now is he said at the time he was acting for Fidelis Madavu, who's also taken a stand here at the commission, who was also suspended because of the IO technology, together with the junior that was working on this deal. He said that at that time, as his superior was on leave, he was acting on his behalf. And he says that Machila told him to sign the deal before it went to a committee that was supposed to now give a go-ahead on the deal, to discuss it and then give a go-ahead. A few days before, the deal was signed, money was paid, and then he told him, Machila apparently told him that it's not a breach of procedure. You can sign the deal, and at the next meeting, the decision to sign the deal before it went there would be ratified. But this, he says, did not happen, and he was quite taken aback that Matila did not inform the meeting. The meeting went ahead as though the deal was not approved and money was not paid yet. We know that since then, the head of listed equities, Fidelis Madavo, and Victor Siani were suspended, and many people here are questioning as to why were just these two questioned, especially in the case of Victor Siani, who was a junior in this whole thing. Why was he then suspended, but the CFOs, now the acting CEO, was not suspended, but it was as much a deal as this? We've heard from some people that gave testimony that it was because the two that were suspended were not cooperating. Remember, that was said by the chairperson of the board, the Deputy Finance Minister, Mondli Gungubele. Another issue that came out, Desiree, is the Lancaster deal that PIC loaned Jayendra Naidu of Lancaster 9.3 billion to buy shares in Steinhoff. This is one of the examples that were given as that the PIC at times did not put the interest of clients ahead. The decision was just made, but like in the case of Iowa, procedure was not followed, but money was invested, money was lost. In the case of the Lancaster deal, we heard that the loan was extended to Lancaster to buy shares worth, it was 9.3 billion. In that process, the deal was restructured to a point where now PIC lost security of the loan to another lender, Citibank, and a few months later, 5 billion in that deal was lost. Desiree?
Glorious, you know, I'm reminded of the Esidimeni process where Deputy Chief Justice Dikgang Moseneke was asking one of the doctors that, I hear you say you were pressured by Ms. Mahlangu, but you're a doctor. How could you allow yourself to go through with this? Paul Magula was the head of risk compliance. He's supposed to know better. How does he justify going ahead and signing these deals even though he knows they will not have any returns?
What happens is, this goes back now to the issue of the organogram, where they say that executives didn't really have much power. We actually mentioned that in his testimony, that executives didn't have much power. Power rested with the CEO and the CFO. He says that even in executive committee meetings, it was like a conversation between the two, the CFO and the CEO. It's like if you have a differing view to what they're saying, then you're seen as the enemy. Then you're pushed out of the organization. He claims that he was told that he's not trusted because of the views that he keeps having that differs from what the others are saying. That if you are seen as not agreeing with what they're saying, then you are the enemy, then you are mistreated, then you are then pushed out of the organization.
We've spoken a lot about the CIPC, which is the Companies and Intellectual Property Commission, which registers company, and the fact that it's instructed the PIC to recoup all of those investments. How much power does the CIPC have to effect this instruction?
The CIPC, it monitors compliance with the Companies Act. So if obviously in this case it's money that was invested, it's a government employees and the UIF money that is put in the trust of the PIC to invest so that there are returns, but this money is used in a way that people just take decisions, and there's no obviously there are procedures that should be followed to make sure that there's oversight, to make sure that money is used in the proper way. Now you find a situation with like the IO deal where due diligence is not done. Lots of money is put in, and and even though executives warn that this is a bad deal because it's overpriced, you find a position where someone that has power then pulls it through. This is not their money. This is pensioners' money. If it happens that the PIC cannot pay that money, that burden of the bad investment falls on the taxpayer, because the Treasury would obviously guarantee that money that it will be paid, and if it's not paid, then the taxpayer then now will take the fall for that. Now there's this monitor that has to ensure that compliance is followed, and if that's not the case, then that's why we're seeing now the CIPC calling on PIC to recoup that money, and also with interest, because it's money that was invested. Desiree?
Glorious, thank you so much for that update. Another story that we will continue to watch in terms of developments.